From the humble streets of Durham, North Carolina, where poverty and loss shaped her early years, to becoming the undisputed queen of gospel music, Shirley Caesar has inspired generations with her powerful voice and unyielding faith. Rising from a childhood marked by her father's sudden death and her mother's disabilities, she turned personal hardships into a triumphant career spanning over 7 decades. With a net worth of $16 million and 12 Grammy Awards, along with 15 Dove Awards and 14 Stellar Awards, Shirley stands as a beacon in the gospel world. But what secrets lie behind her luxurious lifestyle, from grand homes to a cherished family legacy? Stick around as we uncover the opulent world of this gospel icon. Early life and struggles. Shirley Caesar was born on October 13, 1938, in Durham, North Carolina, into a large family facing the harsh realities of the Jim Crow South. As the 10th of 13 children, she grew up in a modest household where resources were scarce and the weight of economic hardship pressed heavily on everyone. Her father, James Big Jim Caesar, worked tirelessly as a tobacco laborer while pursuing his passion as a local gospel singer with the quartet Just Come Four. He provided not just for the family but also infused their home with music, often leading spirited sing-alongs that sparked Shirley's early interest in song. However, tragedy struck when Shirley was just 7 years old. Her father died suddenly from a seizure, leaving the family in dire financial straits. This loss thrust young Shirley into a world of uncertainty, where survival became a daily battle. Her mother, Shirley Caesar, partially disabled with a lame leg, became the family's anchor, despite her physical limitations. Shirley instilled in her children the values of resilience, faith, and community support, often reminding Shirley that their struggles were part of a divine plan. With no father figure and limited income, the Caesar siblings had to contribute early. Shirley, nicknamed Baby Shirley, began performing gospel songs at local churches and events around age 10, traveling through North Carolina and South Carolina. These early gigs weren't glamorous. They involved long bus rides, sleeping in terminals, and scraping together pennies to help buy food for the family. Her mother allowed her small treats like a hamburger and cherry Coke, but most earnings went straight to household needs. Shirley's voice became a tool for survival, helping to pay bills and keep the family afloat amid poverty. Beyond financial woes, Shirley faced emotional and social challenges. Growing up in a segregated society, she encountered discrimination that tested her resolve. Schools were underfunded, opportunities limited, and the constant reminder of inequality fueled her determination. One poignant story from her youth involves performing at revivals where audiences were moved to tears, yet she returned home to a cramped house, with barely enough to eat. Another trial came when she balanced education with her budding career, attending Hillside High School while touring, often exhausted but driven by her mother's encouragement. Shirley taught Shirley about perseverance, saying the people and God depended on her, which became a mantra during tough times. These experiences forged Shirley's character, turning adversity into fuel for her ministry. She learned empathy for the underprivileged, a theme that would later define her outreach work. Despite the hardships, Shirley's family bonds provided solace. Her siblings, though now all deceased, shared chores and dreams, creating a tight-knit unit. This foundation of faith and grit prepared her for the music industry where rejection was common. By age 12, she signed with Federal Records, marking the start of her professional path. But early recordings didn't bring instant fame, only more struggles against industry biases toward young female artists. Shirley's story is one of triumph over tribulation, showing how early difficulties can birth extraordinary purpose. With this resilient foundation in place, Shirley's path naturally led her into a groundbreaking career that would redefine gospel music and touch millions of lives. Career journey. Shirley's professional journey kicked off in 1951 at just 12 years old when she signed with Federal Records, releasing her debut single, I'd Rather Have Jesus. This early step was modest, with limited promotion and sales, but it showcased her raw talent and set the stage for bigger opportunities. Balancing school and sporadic performances, she honed her skills in local churches, where her emotive delivery captivated audiences. By 1958, at age 19, Shirley made a pivotal move. She joined the legendary all-female gospel group, the Caravans, led by Albertina Walker. This was her first major break, touring extensively and recording hits like Sweeping Through the City. The group exposed her to national crowds, teaching her stage presence and vocal dynamics amid grueling schedules. In 1966, Shirley boldly left the Caravans to pursue a solo career, a risky decision that paid off immensely. Signing with Hob Records, she released albums like My Testimony and I'll Go, blending traditional gospel with contemporary flair. Her breakthrough came in the 1970s with No Charge, a spoken-word hit that topped charts and earned her first Grammy in 1971 for Best Soul Gospel Performance. This track, narrating a mother's selfless love, resonated deeply, selling over 1 million copies and establishing her as a storyteller in music. By the 1980s, Shirley's momentum surged. She won Grammys in 1980 for He's Working It Out for You, and in 1984 for Martin, honoring Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. Her albums, such as Jesus, I Love Calling Your Name, grossed hundreds of thousands in sales, solidifying her commercial success. The 1990s marked Shirley's expansion into broader media. She starred in gospel musicals like Mama, I Want to Sing, and its sequels, drawing theater crowds and earning acclaim. Grammys continued rolling in, 1992 for He's Working It Out, 1993 for Stand Still, and more, totaling 10 by decade's end. Her net worth grew through tours, endorsements, and royalties, allowing her to found Shirley Caesar Outreach Ministries in 1980, aiding the needy. Entering the 2000s, Shirley adapted to digital eras, releasing You Can Make It in 2000, which won a Stellar Award. She performed at high-profile events, including a White House appearance for President George Bush and the Gospel, according to VH1 Special. In 2005, I Know the Truth earned another Grammy, pushing her tally to 11. Milestones piled up. Induction into the Gospel Music Hall of Fame in 2000, a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame in 2016, and the Grammy Lifetime Achievement Award in 2017. By the 2010s, albums like Fill This House, 2016, topped Billboard gospel charts, winning her 12th Grammy in 2017 for Best Gospel Performance/Song. She collaborated with icons like Aretha Franklin at the White House in 2015 and continued ministerial work as co-pastor of Mount Calvary Word of Faith Church in Raleigh until her husband's passing in 2014. Recent years saw her honored with the CSAC Lifetime Achievement Award and the Rhapsody and Rhythm Award from the National Museum of African American Music. As of 2026, Shirley's career boasts over 40 albums, participation in 16 compilations, and sales exceeding 2 million since 1991. She's amassed 15 Dove Awards for categories like Traditional Gospel Album of the Year and 13 Stellar Awards, plus an Essence Award and NAACP Image Awards. Her influence extends beyond music. She's a pastor, author, and advocate speaking at the U.S. Treasury on gospel's evolution. Shirley's journey from a young singer supporting her family to a multi-million-dollar icon exemplifies perseverance, with earnings from album sales, tours, and television appearances contributing to her $16 million net worth. Building on this illustrious career, Shirley's success has afforded her a life of luxury, reflected in her impressive real estate portfolio that offers glimpses into her world of comfort and serenity. Real estates. The Raleigh Regal Estate, $7,600,000. Nestled in the upscale neighborhoods of Raleigh, North Carolina, this sprawling estate stands as the pinnacle of Shirley's property holdings, acquired as a testament to her decades of dedication. Inside, the home unfolds with a series of inviting rooms designed for both solitude and hospitality. The main living area features high ceilings that create an airy atmosphere, perfect for intimate gatherings or quiet evenings. Adjacent is a formal dining space where elaborate meals can be enjoyed, with ample room for hosting fellow ministers or family. The kitchen stands out with its professional-grade appliances and expansive countertops, ideal for preparing large spreads during holiday celebrations or church events. Venturing further, the master suite offers a private retreat, complete with a spacious bathroom equipped with a deep soaking tub and dual vanities for ultimate relaxation after long days of travel or performances. Multiple guest bedrooms provide comfort for visitors, each with en-suite facilities to ensure privacy. A dedicated home office allows Shirley to manage her outreach ministries efficiently, surrounded by organized storage for her extensive collection of awards and memorabilia. The lower level includes a theater room, outfitted with plush seating and advanced audio systems, where she watches inspirational films or reviews her own performances. Connecting indoors to out, the estate boasts an outdoor pool area accessible from the family room, featuring a serene swimming space for exercise or leisure swims under the sun. Landscaped grounds enhance the pool's appeal, making it a focal point for summer barbecues or reflective afternoons. This property not only represents financial success, but also serves as a hub for her pastoral work, with spaces adaptable for small group meetings or prayer sessions. Transitioning to her next cherished home, this one in her hometown offers a more personal touch, blending nostalgia with modern luxury. The Durham Distinguished Manor, $6,300,000. Back in Durham, North Carolina, where Shirley's roots run deep, this elegant manor provides a connection to her origins while offering contemporary comforts. Purchased as a nod to her early struggles, it serves as a secondary residence for family visits or retreats from the busier Raleigh life. The interior begins with a grand foyer that leads into an open-concept great room where comfortable seating arrangements encourage conversation and fellowship. The gourmet kitchen, with its high-end ovens and generous pantry, facilitates the creation of soulful meals that remind her of childhood gatherings. The primary bedroom suite is a haven of tranquility, featuring a large bathroom with a steam shower and separate seating area for morning devotions. Additional bedrooms are thoughtfully arranged, each with private baths to accommodate extended stays from relatives or gospel collaborators. Downstairs, a fitness area with exercise equipment promotes her active lifestyle, essential for maintaining energy during tours. The home's outdoor pool, reached via sliding doors from the living space, provides a refreshing escape, complete with lounging areas for soaking up warmth after a swim. This manor embodies Shirley's journey from humble beginnings with interiors that prioritize functionality and warmth over ostentation. Moving to her final highlighted property, this coastal gem rounds out her collection with a focus on relaxation and escape, the Atlanta Aspiring Retreat, $5 million. In Atlanta, Georgia, a city rich in gospel history, Shirley's retreat home offers a change of pace from her North Carolina bases. Acquired for its proximity to music hubs and events, it functions as a vacation spot or base during southern tours. The interior welcomes with a spacious entryway flowing into a living room designed for casual entertaining, with soft furnishings that invite relaxation. The chef-inspired kitchen includes top-tier ranges and islands suited for experimenting with recipes or hosting small dinners. The master quarters provide seclusion, with a bathroom boasting a rainfall shower and ample space for personal care routines. Guest suites ensure comfort for traveling companions, each with individual amenities. Upstairs, a balcony lounge overlooks the property, ideal for contemplative moments. Outside, the pool area, accessible from the great room, features a lap-style design for invigorating swims surrounded by shaded spots for post-swim repose. This retreat captures Shirley's love for Southern culture, blending luxury with accessibility. These properties not only showcase Shirley's affluence, but also her commitment to spaces that nurture body, mind, and spirit. Beyond real estate, her lifestyle extends to a select array of vehicles that reflect her practical yet prestigious tastes. Car collection. Shirley's car collection tells a story of evolution, from her early days of modest travel to embracing vehicles that symbolize her ascent in the gospel world. Each one holds memories of tours, family outings, and personal milestones chosen for reliability and a touch of elegance rather than flashy excess. Starting with her most prized acquisition, these rides narrate chapters of her life on the road. Her standout vehicle is a Bentley Continental GT, worth $200,000, which she added to her garage following a milestone anniversary in her outreach work. This elegant coupe has accompanied her on cross-state drives to gospel conventions, providing a peaceful cabin where she reviews scriptures or rehearses hymns. Shirley often speaks of it as a reward for years of service, using it to transport church members to events or pick up dignitaries for collaborative services. It has been part of heartfelt moments, like driving to family reunions where stories of her early struggles are shared, turning every journey into a testament of faith fulfilled. Next in line is her Lamborghini Urus, costing $500,000, a nod to her adventurous side after expanding her outreach ministries. This SUV joined her fleet during a phase of increased travel for philanthropy, proving ideal for navigating urban streets during community events. Shirley shares stories of using it to visit soup kitchens or youth programs, where its robust build handled everything from city traffic to rural paths. It became a symbol of her commitment to accessibility, ferrying volunteers and supplies while offering comfort on long drives back home. One memorable trip involved delivering aid after a natural disaster where the vehicle's space and power made a real difference in her efforts. Rounding out the trio is her Mercedes-Benz S-Class, priced at $100,000, which entered her life early in her solo career as a practical upgrade from basic rentals. This sedan has been her everyday workhorse, shuttling her to local church services and recording sessions. Shirley fondly remembers it as the car that witnessed her first major hit's success, driving her to radio interviews and fan meetups. It has logged countless miles on family vacations, creating laughter-filled journeys that strengthened bonds. Even now, it remains her go-to for errands, blending luxury with familiarity in a way that feels like an old friend. These vehicles aren't just modes of transport, they're extensions of Shirley's narrative, each mile echoing her resilience and grace. As we shift focus from her material world, let's explore the personal relationships that ground this extraordinary woman, personal life. Shirley Caesar's personal life is a profound narrative of devotion, resilience, and communal bonds that humanize her iconic status in gospel music. Central to this story is her enduring marriage to Bishop Harold Ivory Williams, whom she wed in an intimate 1983 ceremony at their church, surrounded by fellow clergy and loved ones. This union, lasting until Harold's death in 2014, was a partnership rooted in shared faith and ministry. Together, they co-pastored the Mount Calvary Word of Faith Church in Raleigh, North Carolina, growing its congregation to over 1,500 members through joint sermons and outreach. Harold, a bishop with his own musical background, complemented Shirley's dynamic presence, often harmonizing in services or collaborating on community projects. Their relationship exemplified mutual respect, with Harold supporting Shirley's touring schedule while she balanced pastoral duties. Though the couple did not have biological children, Shirley wholeheartedly embraced Harold's two offspring from his prior marriage, Harold Ivory Williams, Jr. and Reverend Hope Ivy Mason, as her own. Stepping into the role of stepmother brought joyful milestones such as attending graduations, weddings, and the birth of grandchildren. Hope, in particular, has followed her stepmother's path, becoming a minister and occasionally joining Shirley on stage for duets that blend generations of gospel fervor. These family connections provided Shirley with a sense of legacy, especially after losing her husband to cancer, a profound loss that she channeled into her music, creating songs of hope and healing. Navigating the public eye, Shirley has faced controversies that tested her grace under pressure. In 2017, during a sermon, she referenced biblical views on homosexuality while defending friend Kim Burrell, leading to accusations of homophobia and widespread media backlash. Social platforms buzzed with criticism, prompting calls for boycotts of her work. Shirley addressed the uproar thoughtfully, issuing statements that her intent was not to harm, but to uphold her faith's teachings. In interviews, she emphasized unconditional love, saying, "I'm too old and too blessed to hate anybody," and focused on bridging divides through dialogue. She participated in forums on faith and inclusivity, turning the incident into an opportunity for growth. Another challenge arose with the 2016 viral hashtag #YouNameIt challenge based on her song Hold My Mule. When a DJ remixed it without permission, Shirley filed a lawsuit seeking $5 million for copyright infringement. The case drew mixed reactions. Some viewed it as protective of her artistry, others as overly litigious. Ultimately, she clarified she wasn't pursuing the full amount and settled amicably, reinforcing her stance on respecting creators' rights while maintaining her approachable image. Beyond these trials, Shirley's commitment to community and culture adds layers of relatability to her persona. Through her Shirley Caesar Outreach Ministries, established in the 1980s, she has dedicated resources to combating hunger, providing thousands of Thanksgiving meals annually to the underprivileged in Durham and Raleigh. Her programs extend to scholarships for aspiring ministers and support for single parents, earning her accolades like the 2026 Harambee Award for Humanitarian Excellence. As a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority, she advocates for education and women's empowerment, speaking at HBCU events and mentoring young artists. She's also involved in cultural preservation, donating to the National Museum of African American Music and hosting workshops on gospel history. These efforts mirror the empathy in her lyrics, where themes of redemption and community uplift prevail, drawing from her own early hardships. Shirley's personal journey reflects the authenticity that defines her career, a blend of vulnerability, strength, and service. Her roles as wife, stepmother, and advocate showcase a woman whose faith informs every relationship, inspiring fans to see the human heart behind the powerful voice. Even in widowhood, she finds solace in family and ministry, continuing to build bridges that echo her song's messages of love and perseverance. This depth not only endears her to audiences, but also cements her as a role model, proving that true wealth lies in the lives touched and legacies built. As we wrap up this exploration of Shirley Caesar's extraordinary life, let's reflect on the inspiration she continues to provide. If this glimpse into Shirley Caesar's luxurious yet faith-filled world inspired you, hit that like button, subscribe for more insider stories on your favorite celebs, and check out our other videos on gospel legends. Thanks for watching.